You can begin to heal those old patterns by beginning to look at how you think. I'm Tara. I'm a holistic and spiritual coach. I help people uncover beliefs that no longer serve them. Unearthing these beliefs allows for more peace, freedom, and ease in life. Hey there, I'm Tara. Thank you for being here. Did you know that emotions follow thought? Another way to say that is that your thoughts dictate your emotions. And your emotions have a big impact on how you feel and how you interact with and respond to the world, to your life, to events. At this point in your life, you're already programmed, we'll say programmed, with how you'll respond to the majority of events that could come up. After about the mid-20s, we really don't have many new experiences. So our response to everything is already programmed in. And this programming is based on past experiences. And when I say programming, what I mean is that out of certain experiences, you recorded certain things and put them into your subconscious mind for safekeeping. And the reason that we would do this is we generally will record things that we didn't like, things that hurt or felt bad in some way that we don't want to repeat in the future. And so we record those into our subconscious mind, and then the feelings in response to that are recorded and the body automatically responds. So we record it into our body. And we hide it from our conscious mind so we can't see it happening. And this is why we run patterns. So we go through a breakup, there's a way that we deal with the end of that relationship when we see it coming. We're at a job and we have a problem with a certain personality, and that certain personality probably reminds you from someone from your past that was hard to deal with, or maybe hurt you, or frustrated you. It doesn't have to be severely intense, although it could be. So how do we get something from an experience up here in the conscious mind, and how does it get into the subconscious mind? Well, there's two things that I know of, and I'm saying that because my knowledge is limited. This is just what I know of. One is something that is repeated over and over. So it doesn't have to be severe or intense, but it just got repeated over and over in our upbringing when our mind was developing, and it got recorded into the subconscious mind as this is the way this is. Another way that it gets recorded is that it is an intense situation, something that happens a few times. It doesn't have to be over and over and over. Just the intensity of it is what puts it into the subconscious. And then we hide it from ourselves, disappear it from conscious view, and then the feelings get programmed into the body. We record it into our body. The fact that it's hidden from view is kind of what I think is a way that we deal with something that we don't like. We don't want to be thinking about it all the time. So we hide that from our view. And in the process, when I do work with people, and in my own experience of doing this work, what I've noticed is coming at it delicately is the way to have it be seen, to bring it out of that subconscious hiding place into something that we can look at again. Now that we're older, we're more mature, we're better able to deal with emotions and things that were hard. And so when we come at it delicately, we have an easier time digging up this thing that we hid from ourselves. And so when we do that work, we begin a healing process that maybe isn't available until those things can be accepted. And we don't have to review them multiple times to move forward from them. And I know that sometimes things that even came up for me were surprising, and I was surprised at how easy I could deal with them by doing this work. So how do you know that you recorded things? How do you know that you're replaying old programming or patterns? The way that you can see that for yourself is to look at your life and see the way that you repeat patterns. So I've had people say, like, yeah, before I woke up to this, I was dating basically the same person in multiple different relationships. Like I had a relationship with somebody that had these behaviors. I left that relationship. Next relationship, this person had the same behaviors. And it's these patterns that, have us choose that kind of person. And we have a struggle with a certain type of personality. Well, until we unearth, what's there for us about that personality is always going to be a problem. And they're going to show up everywhere in your life. From, fun events and friend groups to coworkers and people standing in line at the grocery store. You're going to see that personality because life gives us the opportunity to heal these things. You could say God gives it, or the universe. It's just divinely arranged, however you want to view it. It's going to show up until you heal it. So another way? If something has been recorded, you might notice that you have a particular response or feel a certain way, like anxiety, let's say, and you have no reason to have this anxiety. Well, there's something in your world, in your experience of life, that's reminding you of something from the past. And it could be something really small, something almost undetectable. And you have to bring your mind to it in order to detect it, right? You have to be a detector of these things. It could be the environment that you work in. There's something that reminds you of something from the past, some time from the past where you felt anxious. Another way is that something someone says, the way someone dresses, their behavior, the jokes they tell, like these little things. It could be a smell. It could be a sound. These are little things in life that can remind us of something from the past, those past hurts. And that's a way that it brings up that response that we recorded, that way that we will respond to something. And we'll run the response, which is like anxiety, panic, fear, things like the anger, frustration, all these things that come up, and then that's our way of deflecting it and surviving the situation. And we recorded that in a past experience, probably a long time ago. So all these things will trigger the recording that you made. And you chose the recording, so you can choose to look at it. So what's a way that you can do this? Well, one is to notice your thoughts. I will say begin to train your mind to notice what you're thinking about. What are you giving your attention to? Are your thoughts empowering you or disempowering you? If they're empowering you, stick with them. But if they're not, become aware of what you're thinking about. And you can go to work on changing them. And by changing them, one of the things you can do is simply noticing. Just notice the negative thoughts or the thoughts that bring you into this negative space. Thoughts are just thoughts. It's the space that we go into as a result of them that gives them the title of being negative. And it's really up to you. Like if you don't like the way you feel, then we could say, well, that's a negative thought pattern, right? Because it's bringing up feelings that you don't like. Another way is to use your emotions to tell you that your thoughts are not on track with where you want them to be. So your emotions, when you're feeling a way that you don't like, uncomfortable, fearful, anxious, angry, whatever it is, just become present to the feelings, the emotions. Notice the way your body feels. Oh, I feel tense, or I feel anxious. I feel this uncomfortable anxiety feeling inside of my body. And then begin to wonder, what am I thinking about that's leading to this feeling, to these emotions? What am I thinking about? And then try, in each of these, as you're noticing your thoughts, try to follow your thoughts backwards through time to when you began this pattern of thinking this time around. It could have been a few hours ago, it could have been a few days ago, could have been a few weeks ago. If it's been a few hours, that's great. It's either something you've become very good at noticing, or it's pretty intense and disrupting your day. If it's been a few weeks, maybe it's something that's you're familiar with the feeling and you're beginning to train yourself to notice these types of feelings. You might trace it back to a conversation. What happened in that conversation? Usually it is something with a person. Was it something that you said and you're upset that you said that? Was it something that they said? Was it something that someone did? Was it something that you did or didn't do? Did you say that you would do something and didn't follow through and you're upset with yourself? Is it something that someone else did or didn't do and you're upset with them as a result? And the next question is, can you let it go? If you can let it go, that's great. If you can't, there's probably more work to do around that issue. And you have two options if you can't let it go. The first one is to accept that you're upset. I'm upset. And then acknowledge the emotions. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling anxious. And just allow yourself to be in that space. It's okay that I'm anxious. It's okay that I'm angry. And I don't know how to work through it right now. and I can just accept that I have anger. What you've probably been doing up until now is trying to push the emotions away. Just get them out of here. I don't want to feel this way. Try to stifle it, mask it with entertainment or substances or whatever. But I'm inviting you to allow the emotions to just be there. And what you might notice is they begin to dissipate. So they go from whatever level they are to a lower level, a level that's less disruptive to your life. Second one is to forgive the situation. Like if you can't let it go, work on forgiving the situation, work on forgiving yourself, work on forgiving the other person, wherever the forgiveness needs to happen. And, if it's a major thing and you need help, then seek the help that you need. If it's minor, see if you can work through it. And forgiveness isn't about saying, if somebody did something or a situation was harmful to you, it isn't saying that, oh, I'm fine with you that you did that. It isn't that. It's you letting go of that, of harboring the emotions. When you harbor emotions, you're storing that in your body. Your body's manifesting symptoms. Symptoms can turn into illness. You're preventing future illness. You're preventing the level of symptomology. You're preventing you having to live in this emotional state. You don't have to say I condone or I'm okay with someone doing something. You can still say that doesn't align with my values, and I'm going to let go of this uncomfortable emotion so that I can feel happier, so I can feel better. And then there may be work to do around that. There may be a conversation to have. There may be something else for you to do. I mean, of course, there's always the option of doing nothing, but I don't think you'd be here if that's what you wanted. So this video is about becoming aware of your thoughts, because your thoughts dictate your emotions, and your emotions have a big impact on how you interact with and respond to life. The way you will emote has been recorded by you out of past experiences that you didn't like. You can begin to heal those old patterns. You can move through those old limiting beliefs, and you can move on from these unwanted emotions and feelings by beginning to look at how you think. And that is an access for you to do some healing on your own. If it becomes something that's too big, or it is something that you already know is too much, get the help that you need. Thank you for being here. I wish you well.